everybody, happy Thursday. And since it's Thursday here, what does that mean? It means that I'm doing an FAQ, and I have a lot of questions. Like I said last week, I'll probably throw some random videos out here, there, and everywhere because I have a lot of questions that are building up and things that I think that all of you should hear. And it is hot here in Los Angeles, hence why my hair is in a ponytail, because I can't even bear to have it touch me because it's so hot. And that's why you maybe hear our window air conditioning unit, because thanks Mom, because she sent that home with me when I was in Washington, and Sean was like, I don't think we need to hassle with it. We need to hassle with it. It's 90 degrees by the beach. WTF environment. Anyway, let's get crack-a-lackin'. So today's question I thought was really good, so I'm just gonna get off with it and let me know if you have any other questions below or comments. Obviously share your experience. Dear Katie, recently I've been feeling really overwhelmed. Is it possible for someone to have more than one mental illness? I feel like I have so many different issues, and I've just gotten to the point where I'm so tired of it all and I just want help. I don't feel like I can talk to my parents about it, although I'm only 16. So I tried to email a therapist that's close to where I live so I could go without my parents knowing, but I just couldn't think of what to say or where to start. There are so many different problems. I'm scared I'll forget one or just start talking and never stop. I watched your videos that said to say those 3 things, but I feel so lost. Where do I start? I just feel so different to everyone else all the time, and I just want to be normal. I really like this question because it encompasses a lot of what many of you have expressed to me that you feel on the day-to-day basis, and that is the sense of overwhelm. And yes, it's possible to have more than one mental illness. Many people do. I would venture to say most people who struggle with mental illness have more than one thing going on. And to that end, when you work with a therapist, you will shortly find out that they are usually very closely linked. I mean that maybe, I'm just throwing out some, examples. Maybe your alcohol abuse or alcohol addiction is because of your bipolar disorder and you're using that to cope. Maybe your traumatic abuse past that you've been trying to work through is what has sparked your eating disorder or your self-harm. Maybe your depression can sometimes also feel like anxiety, and sometimes they're together and sometimes there's one or the other and sometimes there's none and then they come right back. Those are all possibilities, and those are all very common, and there are a million different combinations of different mental illnesses that tend to happen together most. But that doesn't even account for the fact that many of us could have ADD, and we also were sexually abused when we were younger, so now we also have trouble with anxiety and depression. And then it could be a bunch of different things. There are all these different compilations of different mental illness, and that is very normal. Nothing happens in a vacuum. And the fascinating thing about our brain is that when things happen to us, when we have situations, traumas, stressful things going on, whatever it may be, our brain tries to find a way to help us cope without us even knowing it's doing it. Hence tics, hence self-harm urges, hence eating disorders, hence depression, anxiety, ways that our brain tries to help us better manage. Even if the coping is technically unhealthy, it's just doing its best to try to get us through it so that we, as a human being, can survive it and move through it. Okay? I know that's kind of a little rant. I apologize. Now, the other questions are, where to start? What do you say to a therapist? I feel like if I just started talking, I would just lose my shit or not get around to what I really wanted to say. And, God, it's so hot, you guys. Oh, my God. But somebody, Shadow, commented back on this, and that was really great. And she also linked, I got this question from my website, katimorton.com, under Katie's videos, Q&A for videos, so you can look for this. But Shadow linked in there other videos I've talked many times about making a list, writing it down before you go in to see the therapist or before you email. Just do bullet points of the things that you're struggling with. And you can, as simply as saying, I'm hoping to work on these issues. Boom, 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 whatever. Are those things, you could ask a therapist, are those things that you work with in your practice? Question mark. End of email. That's simple. Keep it like that, because then and you make sure that they specialize, make sure that they feel confident and comfortable working with you. If not, they'll give you some referrals of people who can, and that's awesome too. But writing it down and bringing it into a session is also great if you're going in to see a therapist and you're afraid you're going to forget what you're going to want to say and what you want to work on, because, it's kind of hard to remember it all, and once you start talking about it, we sometimes forget. And even though they may be linked and may come from the same root cause, we still want to talk about them all to make sure that we're extinguishing all of the unhealthy coping skills that may come along with it. Now, I think that is it. Watch your videos, blah, 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 tried it out. I think that's it. And you can also get help, if any of you haven't heard me say this before, if you are over the age of, wow, I'm like losing my mind. I want to say it's 12 or 13. I think it's 12. You can get help without the permission of your parent. And you can let me know if I'm incorrect, because I'm just trying to remember, and I think it's 12 or 13. But you can get help without a parent's permission if you have these three things, that if there's an emotional reason to not have them involved, that you are old enough to actually emotionally participate in therapy, and the last being that whatever the cost is, that you're able to pay for it by yourself without having to steal from your parents or lie, you know, any kind of illegal or unethical stuff doesn't have to take place. You can cover the cost of that. But there are many ways to get help out there, and it doesn't have to just be going to a therapist, although I think that that is ideal. But there are school counselors you can see through school for free. They may refer you out to clinics that are free. Friends are always a great outlet. Also, I have a huge community that is here to support as much as we can and offer as many tips and tricks through my videos, through their experience, and together we will get better, right? I hope that helps. I love you all. I will see you on Saturday and maybe sometime in between that. Okay?